to start it?
I thought you were. Or reference another movie that I have never seen.
Welcome to the Once Upon a Time in Huntsville podcast, hosted by me, Sampley Baranaga, and at this point also co-hosted by Erin Baranaga, my wife.
Hello.
Now, what Erin was referring to before I introduced the show was, as I was setting up to hear for the podcast, me and Erin were pretending that our dog Nala was going to be a guest on the show, and Erin was doing like the voice that we do for Nala. I don't do it. The world's not ready for that. Just cringy dog owner stuff. That's not cringy to us, but is to other people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's
everyone knows. Everyone does a voice for their dog or their cat or their goldfish, whatever. Pet rock. And after you were finished doing that bit, I go, Erin, dogs, podcasts, a dog podcast. And then you pretended to be like, whoa. And then I was like, we're going to be swimming in money like Scrooge McDuck. And then you go,
who is Scrooge McDuck?
I rest my case.
Okay, I've never seen it. What channel was it on?
No. It's just like anything. I'm just surprised you being a Disney adult that you don't know who Scrooge McDuck
I'm
is.
a Disney adult. Maybe that makes you a Disney adult.
I didn't think about it that way. No,
yeah,
Scrooge
you're 0 for 2 by now.
is the uncle of Donald Duck, and he's like super wealthy. And like, it'd go DuckTales, woo, something, up to adventure in DuckTales, and then like it's like showing them going on adventures. Like it was Huey, Louie, and Dewey with Scrooge McDuck because Donald Duck had to go to war. That's the premise of a kid's show.
I knew.
Yeah.
I knew who Huey, Louie, and Dewey were.
Yeah, so he leaves. Or so no.
I'm probably able to.
Or maybe
picture
it's Uncle,
this,
or maybe
this
it's Donald Duck's
character.
dad.
I'm probably
because he's the uncle. Because Donald Duck is the uncle of Huey, Louie, and Dewey. So he leaves. I don't know. They need to get that straight.
Yeah.
But anyways, Erin does not know who Scrooge McDuck is. I thought that surprised me. I think most people know who that is. Maybe not. Maybe I'm in the wrong.
Maybe not. I don't know. And I didn't watch Star Trek, so like I said, you're 0 for 2 right now.
I wasn't going to include that in the podcast, so you're going to look like an idiot. Sorry. Sound like an idiot.
Why wouldn't you?
What? My arm's over.
Who was the Star Trek character you referenced?
No, when I went now I have to explain.
Yeah,
now you're making me look bad.
Yeah.
Son of a gun. So I started the podcast. Captain Log speaking, and I said, and then Erin was looking at me like I was an idiot because maybe I feel like I am one now. And I said, Star Trek, and you said, I don't know what that is. You know what it is. You just never seen it.
I don't know who that is. That's what I meant. I know what Star.
I don't know who.
I'd have to be living under a rock to not know about Star Trek. Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah. Anyways, today's podcast. Last time we did a podcast was the last podcast I did, and we talked about Disney and all our Disney fun adventures.
Yep.
Which then that podcast ended up convincing my brother-in-law and his wife to go to Disney.
Why would you not say your sister and her husband? What is wrong with you?
I thought I could sneak that past you, and then
No.
while I was talking, dang, you're quick.
I thought you were about to say my brother-in-law and my sister. I was still surprised that you didn't say my sister first.
That's how I refer to her to people. Oh, that's my brother-in-law's wife.
Oh my god.
But anyways,
I
it
hope
was
she's
funny.
not
They
listening to
actually
this.
listened, so they'll actually hear that. They'll think that's funny. Anyways.
I don't know.
So we actually convinced them to go to Disney for a day, and they had a really fun time. But so
we think
I don't know why I said that, as if I can pat myself on the back, because who knows? They might have gone without that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, but the last time we talked about our Disney trip, and this time we've watched like a lot of movies recently. Like, we've been on a movie binge because
What show did we finish?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. And then we were like, all right, we don't have a show anymore.
Was it the middle?
Maybe it was the middle, but I thought we watched one after that.
Yeah.
We were watching Caesar, That we finished that up. Better Human, Better
Better
Dog.
Human, Better Dog. That was like our
Like
watch while we eat show.
yeah, or like as I'm falling asleep. Like
Yeah.
you watch while I fall asleep.
I was falling asleep too.
Good show though. I like Caesar Milan. Milan.
It's fun.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Like whenever I walk and all that, now I just hear his voice in my head. Well, calm and confident.
You're not calm confident.
You're not calm confident. I just love how like he just looks like a sorcerer like on the show. Like as soon as he touches the leash, like the dog is just like I will obey.
Yeah, I mean I'm sure there's stuff they don't show.
Well, no, some of that stuff's like in one take. You know what I mean? Where there's like no cut in between. So you're like, man, like, and then but there are some other stuff where you're like, all right, obviously.
Yeah, that was too fast.
Yeah, that was a little too fast, and there were a couple cuts there, and people are in different positions wearing different clothes.
Yeah, it happens. But what show did we watch before?
I'm like drawing a blank.
That we started. Did we?
Oh wait, maybe Barry?
No,
because we watched that before it came on again. Or no. No one finds this interesting right now. They don't want to know what show we were watching, so we could start watching movies. It will pop up. Like,
we finished a show. We've usually had a show that we've been watching up until whatever show this was that we finished, and then we were like, what show do we watch now? Because we got to the point where we were like, do we rewatch was it Parks and Rec?
No, we watched that months ago.
Oh, okay.
That was before we watched that. We finished that before Disney.
Oh, okay. But yeah, we usually have a show that we're watching that we watch like while we eat or in bed or something at night, and then we were like, what do we watch now? So needless to say, we've been watching a lot of movies. Also, I don't think I'm sick, but my voice just sounds deeper. I don't know why.
You've been hitting that vape. That's what you've been
no,
doing.
I have not. I do sound like a smoker, but I like lost my voice in the middle of teaching an obedience class several days ago at this point, and it's like still coming back, but it made my other classes that I taught very interesting.
I'm trying to see if I wrote down the show in my movie journal that I have in front of me.
Yeah, Sampley's flipping pages right now, trying to be really impressive. Like, look at all these movies I watched.
That's not impressive. I know that's not impressive. I usually don't write down TV shows, but
Bambi.
sometimes I do. Yeah, I know Bambi, and then Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure of the Page before.
I made Sampley watch Bambi because he'd never seen it.
I enjoyed it. I really liked it. I really liked how there wasn't like a narrative. It was just kind of like, this is the life of a deer. I really liked it a lot.
Until his mom got shot. Spoiler alert.
I think everyone knows that. I knew that going in.
Maybe I should have said spoiler alert before.
Yeah, I think.
Anyways.
I bet you were the worst in history class. Wow, that silence hurt. I'm gonna edit that out.
Man.
Wow, I'm rough. It's been a while since we've done a podcast. So I was thinking we could start because this was back in April when we watched. Erin had never seen Rocky.
Not all the way through. I had seen parts of it, but I'd never seen it the whole movie.
And I had not seen it in a very long time all the way through. I feel like it's on TV a lot during the holidays for whatever reason. Maybe because they do have Thanksgiving in the movie, so it was like always on cable. But I had like watched it once all the way through with my dad growing up, and obviously, like most people, I thought it was a really good movie. And then kind of just saw pieces here and there. So what before I keep talking, what did you think of it for your first time watching it all the way through?
I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. I just saw where the Yo Adrian joke.
Yo Adrian!
I thought that was funny.
Hey, yo Adrian. Yo
also,
Rocky.
It still confirmed like Nala's love for Sylvester Stallone.
Gosh.
I don't know why. She doesn't ever care that much about like watching humans on TV. It's usually only other dogs, but whenever he's on the screen, whether it's in Rocky or what was the other movie we watched?
First Blood.
First Blood. She's like locked in for like 15 minutes on a scene. It's weird. But still funny. So, no, I thought it was good. I don't think I had any complaints about it.
Interesting.
But that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was all the way back in April.
I don't like sit there and analyze like you do.
No, I was just like completely or like, so I don't know, because like I don't, people say that they're like, oh, you must like analyze everything. It's just like, not really, because I try to enjoy it.
No, I'm talking about after.
Oh, after, yeah. Because like whenever I watch a movie, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, well, like they should have done it this way. It's like, well, you don't know, like you haven't seen the whole thing yet. Like,
yeah, I think
you're supposed
that's
to
like a
consume
no-brainer.
it and try to enjoy it. Some things, if it's not done well, then it will kind of be jarring or poke out at you, and you'll think, oh, that was kind of weird. But no, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, well, I would have done it this way. It's like, no, I want to, someone made this and I want to watch it and I want to respect it. Even if it's poorly made, try to respect it as much as I can. Try to find something I liked about it, because somebody put a lot of time and effort into that.
Yeah.
There are movies where they are made just for money, and a lot of times they're, crap. And there are a few movies like that where I will actually bash on this podcast. That last Thor movie being one
that
of them.
That was rough.
I don't want to get too much into that. Because, I'm sure there are people on that worked really hard. Christian Bale being one of them, and all the crew people.
Oh, yeah, I forget about that.
But, no, Rocky, this time watching, I was just blown away by how well written, how well Stallone carries that role. And I was surprised of how little boxing there actually is in the movie.
Yeah.
And do you know the story of like how Sylvester Stallone like got this movie made?
No.
It's like it could be a movie within itself. I'll be quick because I'm sure some people have heard this by now, but essentially like he was not like he had done like a part here or there, like maybe a line, maybe an extra in a movie, and he had written this. He wrote Rocky in like a week. I think he was like homeless. He was trying to figure out how to sell the movie, and the people who ended up making the movie, essentially like, yeah, we love it, like we'll buy it from you for this amount. And he was just like, I just can't. I have to be in the movie. And they're like, well, no, we like the script, we just don't like you. So take it or leave it. And he was like, I'm sorry, I have to play the main character. I'm the only one who understands. And I don't know how eventually they agreed. I think he took like a drastic pay cut.
Oh, wow.
And it just goes to show, like, he plays that role because he actually lived that life, this guy trying to go the distance with something.
Yeah.
That maybe a lot of people didn't believe in him, and maybe at times he didn't believe in himself. And I thought it was a great movie. I thought more than anything it was a love story of these two people, Rocky and Adrian, from two totally different worlds that were like so like in their shells. Because he's this guy that's like, only seen as a brute, but on the inside, he's this vulnerable guy that, wants to try hard and do something and be celebrated for that. And throughout the movie, people kind of poke at him. Oh well, when he beats that one guy in the opening boxing match, people are like, oh well, that guy, he's been fighting for a long time. He's not very good anymore. Like they can, even when he wins, no one can give him a victory. Or when he does the nice thing and he lets that guy walk away and not break his fingers like he's supposed to, his boss, is really mad at him, and that one guy's, telling him he's not a good fighter and all this stuff. And then, they take away his locker at this room, so all this stuff. And it's also the directing is really great, where they put the camera in, and I love that shot when he's talking to Adrian. It's the reflection in the mirror and through everything. But not to talk about this movie too long, I really thought it was a fantastic movie. Like that's a movie. Because, oh man, it was just so good. And flash forward, and I really like how they make Apollo Creed this likable guy. He's like extremely intelligent. Like he's not just some like lug. He's very smart, and he's like, okay, like here's how we're gonna go about this. Like he's a very smart in marketing, and he's gonna pick this guy because he knows he's gonna be able to beat him.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are going to watch because it's a regular average Joe. Like, let's see, and he really loses. Like, I I mean, he wins. He wins. I think in the second one, I remember he says, I won, but what did he say? They said I won, but I know I lost, or something like that. It's just weird how just great of a movie that was, and that ending. I love that ending. So I liked it a lot. Obviously, yeah. I really did. I thought it was. I just thought it was awesome, and I thought it deserved to win Best Picture in '76. Yeah, which beat a lot of really other good movies.
For sure. Agreed. You going to the next movie?
No, I want to talk about this for an hour. So anyway, no, sorry. I think people should know, if you haven't seen it in a while, go back and rewatch Rocky.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it before, go watch it.
Yeah. I watched this movie by myself. Copland. That's another Stallone. Me and Noah watched it. She liked it. It was a good movie. Sylvester Stallone, also Robert De Niro, Harvey Keitel, and some other people. It was a good movie. I'd watch it with you. I'd rewatch it. Okay. Next, we watched The Mask of Zorro. Sorry, I won't try to drone on about every movie. You had also never seen this.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it before.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I was waiting for the pirates, but...
Oh, my word.
Okay, before we watch it, Sampley was like, this is like just like Pirates of the Caribbean. And
I did not say it's just like. I said it is like.
You said...
And the fact that it's an action, romance...
No, like I knew what you meant.
Popcorn
I was just joking
movie.
Because I was like... Unless there's pirates, to me, it's not like Pirates of the Caribbean. But I get what you're saying. I got what you were saying. But no, I liked it. I thought it was...
it took us I spent $8 to watch this movie, and it took us like a week for sure. Not a week, maybe 3 nights.
It's a longer movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe more, honestly.
Yeah. But, oh, yawning.
Yeah, I know. I just yawned too.
I know, I saw you. I'm trying to think of where to start. I don't ever know where to start.
Anthony Hopkins is excellent as the first Zorro, who's training Antonio Banderas, who I think is a super underrated actor, actually. He's
good, yeah.
He's the perfect role for this.
What was the girl's name?
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah.
She did a really good job.
Good.
The guy who played her fake dad, villain, was good.
He was good.
All the acting was good. The set pieces were great. I thought the action was super well choreographed. This is another movie like me and my dad watched a lot, and it came on cable a lot.
And I'd never seen it.
Yeah, you had never seen it, which surprised. I wonder if your parents have. I could see your dad having seen it.
You can see my dad having seen every movie.
No, like any movie like this, because this is like a fun action adventure. I know your dad likes movies like this. I really had a great time with this. Like I'd like to watch this every other year.
Yeah,
I feel like I'd like to own it on DVD.
It was fun, very adventure.
It kind of blows my mind,
movie.
and I did some research, because they did a sequel in 2005. It did not do as well because it was not as good of a movie. It was more of like a comedy, and it was more kind of about the kids, more than like an action adventure film. And then no one's really done anything with that IP. At one point, Quentin Tarantino was supposed to do a movie about Zorro and Django from the movie Django Unchained. That fell through. At one point, Robert Rodriguez was going to direct a miniseries or a TV show. That fell through. I'm really surprised that no one's tried to do something with this character, because I feel like I would watch a TV show or a miniseries if it was done in the same way, done well. It's very it's an interesting character. It's an interesting period of time in California. But yeah, and it was it was a family friendly movie, I would say, to watch. Kind of like Pirates. There's some adult stuff in there, but anyone can enjoy.
Yeah. Did that scene come to mind?
I thought of the head in the jar. What did you think of? I think that's pretty scary for a kid.
I thought of when what did he do? He cut her clothes or something, and
we
were both fighting. Like, wait, what?
And then they fell off, and
then he runs out, and then her dad walks in, and I was like, that I would be so not just her dad, but her dad.
Oh, and her fiance or her boyfriend.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Or the guy who's
a
trying
whole
to
bunch
court
of
her.
people. Yeah,
And she's all someone was here.
Like if I was naked in front of my father, I'd be like devastated. I mean, that's disgusting.
Yeah, that's something.
You don't come back from that. Yeah, that was very interesting. Like we both were like, wait, what?
Very, yes.
Did you not remember that part? Because you acted surprised.
No, I hadn't seen it since I was a child. The last time I remember watching it, we were in a hotel, falling asleep.
What is that?
This one?
Oh.
Look what I wrote.
Yes, I agree.
To the viewers, the next movie we watched was a movie called
Red Eye.
And it was starring Cillian Murphy and
her name. What is
Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams, yes.
So she's kind of the star.
She's more the star.
Tell the viewers how it kind of sets it up. Or the listeners.
You'll have to kind of help me out here.
Oh. So she's like a not hotel, airport manager person, I guess. No, she's a hotel.
It's a hotel. I was about to say, yeah.
She's a hotel.
Hotel manager, and she is leaving. No. She was visiting her father.
Yes.
And she was flying back on an airplane from visiting her father. His mom died or
something.
Yeah, her grandmother died.
So she was coming back from the funeral.
She's coming back from the funeral, and she meets this guy.
Played by Cillian
Murphy. He's so creepy in that movie.
He's fantastic. For those who aren't familiar with the name, he played Scarecrow in the Dark Knight trilogy by Christopher Nolan. He plays Oppenheimer in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. He was in Inception. He was in 28 Days Later. He was in Peaky Blinders. I said coming out. I thought I said coming out soon. Maybe I said.
Maybe you did. I didn't hear.
He's in people know who he is.
Yeah.
He was in The Quiet Place Part 2, which we need to watch.
I know, right? We need to watch that.
Let's watch it right now.
But so they meet each other, and in the movie it kind of sets you up like you.
I almost don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. If you don't want to be spoiled, skip 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. We're now going to spoil the movie Red Eye.
Completely?
Yeah. Why not?
Are we a spoilers podcast?
I just said spoiler alert.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Skip.
It's their fault if they don't skip. Yeah. Skip at least 5 minutes to be safe.
Anyways, but it kind of sets you up thinking that Cillian Murphy is going to be a possible love interest because they really do a good job. They
have chemistry.
They do have chemistry. I was completely surprised because he's this really, you really think that he's just into her, and they meet each other. How did they meet each other? Just at the airport.
Yeah, at the airport waiting in line.
And they sit and have drink or something, and
anything but a bay breeze, eh?
Anything but a bay breeze. And there's a final joke at the end of the film, and it's referring to when they were sitting at the airport drinking their drinks, and he knows that she.
He
was guessing her drink.
Or go back because now we're kind of all over the place.
Okay, yeah, no, we're all over the place.
That's fine.
You had to throw that in there.
Sorry.
Anyways, so we'll talk about that. But he basically convinces the audience that he's this love interest for her, and she you can tell that they're starting to form some kind of a relationship, and then they end up sitting next to each other on the flight.
Yeah, and they're he's oh, I'm stalking you, and she laughs about it.
Yeah, she laughs about it, and then they're just sitting there having a conversation, and then it starts coming out that he actually is stalking her, and he starts revealing I am actually stalking you.
Yeah, she goes, so what do you do? And he goes, oh, like I work for this company that like stops politicians from achieving their goals or something like that. And she's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And like she thinks he's like kind of joking, but it's weird.
Yeah, he's serious.
And then he's just like, no, I've been watching you, and like
like it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it gives you,
it's like perfect.
It's
yeah,
like,
it's like oh, and he does it. Cillian Murphy delivers it in such like a creepy way. You're like, ooh, I don't like this guy anymore.
Yeah, it's like sudden shift, like totally sudden shift in the movie, and you're kind of processing it because you didn't expect it to come out in a conversation. Because I feel like most of the time in movies, the villain is revealed in a much more like, I don't know what word you would say for, like shocking or like, I know the word I'm trying to think of.
Dramatic, you mean?
Dramatic, I guess. Yeah, you could say dramatic, but there's still another word I'm trying to think of. It's just a much more dramatic way, and then.
Or there's like a big reveal.
Yeah.
This is more like they're just having dialogue.
Like there's like a monumentous moment that happens. And then that's when it's revealed. But like for this, they're just talking and you're following the conversation, the dialogue, and then you're like, what? Wait, what? And then you're processing it while she's processing it, which I think is like cool.
Yeah. The director did a really good job of like making you feel like you're in her headspace.
Yeah.
For the entire movie, and we don't want to spoil too much, but she tries to get away from him. She tries to say that he has a bomb on the plane.
Yeah.
He just like keeps following her, and then they get off. His goal is to have her switch a politician's room to a different room so he can have his people assassinate him in the goofiest way possible. Not with a sniper rifle, but with a giant RPG bazooka thing. That was kind of funny. So the movie, it's a good movie. I recommend it. It was like an hour and 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't too long. Yeah.
No, and it's paced really well, so it goes by. But there are some like kind of like, oh, this is kind of goofy. Yeah. Early 2000s action
they're trying
stuff.
some different things out.
But they end the movie after she's gotten rid of the guy. She makes sure her dad's safe.
And this is like within an hour. Like, I mean, of
she's going to need therapy.
Her almost dying.
After this. And they end the movie with her and her coworker walking out of frame, and her coworker goes, let's go get drinks. And she goes, anything but a Bay Breeze, which is what she had with him at the bar.
Because he was guessing her drink, but he already knew her drink.
Because he'd been stalking her.
Yeah. And then she chooses a different drink, and he was like, I knew it was a Bay Breeze or whatever. And
because I've been watching you.
And I was like, whoa.
Whoa. Yeah, he says that later in the film, not in that moment.
Yeah.
But no. So she goes, anything but a Bay Breeze.
Like joke making light of it. It's like that's.
And you're just like, okay, what?
Yeah, just to end the movie like that.
It was very strange. It was funny. Like you and I both turned to each other. And we're just like, wait, what just happened?
No, maybe years later.
Like, and you don't have to end with like a dramatic, like super deep ending to a movie like that. I thought the movie should have just ended when it was her and her dad and they were like hugging each other. You just pan out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because her dad, we forgot to mention the dad, Cillian Murphy was like, had people parked outside her dad's house until she made this call. They were going to like kill him if she didn't. Yeah. So that's why he was involved. But anyway, we just spoiled that whole movie. So. Well,
yeah, I think that was. I should have kept an eye on it, but yeah, oh well. I hope we didn't spoil. There's a lot of stuff we did not talk about. So go watch it if you haven't. We watched it on HBO Max, but I think they just took it off of there.
Oh really?
I'm sure it's on something. But next movie. John Wick Chapter 2. You did not watch that. I watched that.
You've been watching those?
A Man Called Otto. That was
not my fave.
Not my fave either.
I'll let you talk.
I don't know. I know I was very brutal in my like little notes.
Yeah, you were.
But I don't want to be that brutal.
Tom Hanks is in it.
Tom Hanks. That's the reason we watched it.
I would not have thought that he would be in a movie like that.
It was just it's hard to make perfect choices your entire career.
Yeah.
And, but I was just there is a good movie in there somewhere, and I know it is a remake of a foreign film, and that movie has good reviews, so maybe that one's good. Not to say that this one isn't. If you liked it, that's awesome. I can see people liking this movie because it's very uplifting. It has some funny stuff in it. For the most part, you and I can say, did not care for it. Just wasn't a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Onwards and upwards. Next, we watched Castaway because you had never seen it. Again, another movie.
We got onto a Tom Hanks binge. Yeah, I'd never seen Castaway. Shockingly, my dad has, because when I asked him, because I was like, "Hey, why didn't you ever show me this movie?" He was like, "Oh yeah, I saw it in theaters." And I was like, "Okay, thanks." Well, what year did it come out?
It came out 2000.
In 2000. So I was 2. Well,
maybe that's why I never showed you.
Yeah, maybe me and my brother, he just needed a break from us because we would have been 2 and 4. Movie night for myself. Or who knows? Maybe my mom went to see it with him. I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it was great. I have nothing that I would have changed in it. Honestly, it was really, really good. Probably one of my favorite movies that I've seen recently. But are we supposed to talk about like what happens in it, or just? I mean, have most people seen this?
I feel like most people have seen it. It was a big box office hit. I think it's like one of like the most sold DVDs like ever. I feel like a lot of it's been on Netflix forever. I think that's what we watched it on, right?
Yeah. It's a heartbreaker.
It really is.
It really is so sad. And
it's really well set up too, kind of like what I was talking to you about, because it was my second time watching it. So there were things I saw on it at the very beginning, before he's on the island, that you don't realize will actually have like a huge effect at the end of the film.
Yeah.
Don't want to spoil too much. But if you haven't seen it, you should go watch Castaway. It was on Netflix. Tom Hanks.
What's her name?
Helen. No. Helen Hunt. No.
Yes.
It is? Okay. I get her
positive.
and Holly Hunter mixed up.
Holly Hunter is the Sally from Cars, right?
And no. Wait. Who's Mrs. Incredible?
Hang on. I have my phone right here.
Phone.
I have my phone right here. Hang on.
Holly Hunter, Helen Hunt.
That was definitely Helen Hunt. I know that was Helen Hunt.
Who's Holly Hunter?
Holly Hunter.
Yeah, she's Mrs. Incredible. Wait, who's the voice of who from Cars? Now I can't even remember her name. Oh my word.
Me looking up. So she is Mrs. Incredible?
Yeah, that's Mrs. Incredible as Holly Hunter. She has that like
mom voice.
Yeah, that mom voice. Yeah, I couldn't think of a good word that like
Sally from Bonnie Hunt. Okay.
Bonnie Hunt.
So it's Bonnie Hunt, Helen Hunt, and
Holly
Hunter.
So wait, look up Helen Hunter. Or wait.
Yeah, Helen Hunt. Helen Hunt. Yeah,
that's who it is. Yeah, oh my word!
I told you. Anyways,
she does a good job in it.
She does a great job. She was really good.
Castaway.
So
Wilson,
sad.
Wilson, the volleyball, has a wonderful performance.
He did incredible. Okay,
he did one, and he said, "That's it." And then,
too.
Oh my word!
Because imagine being on an island
for 4 years.
I didn't want to spoil it, but yeah, you just said it. I didn't know if you were going to.
Sorry.
Well, it's not a spoiler. I mean, you would imagine they would.
It's the premise.
If someone
of the
gets
movie,
stuck on an island, they're going to be there for a hot minute. So
yeah, in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
What was it, like 300 to 500 miles from his crash?
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. That's so wild. Because he's just where was he headed? Because he and Helen Hunt were engaged to get married, and then he leaves to go on a plane. Was it like on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or something, or like around Christmas?
I can't remember.
Because they were supposed to spend Christmas together.
And they were supposed to come,
And then he had to leave last minute because what did he do? He worked for FedEx.
Yeah, he worked for FedEx.
And he had to leave on a plane with. Where were they going? I forget.
I can't remember where they were going. I don't know, but over the ocean.
Yeah, that's what scares me about ocean. I mean, plane Plane rides on land should also scare me because like you're gonna still die. But
would you prefer to go through what he went through, or would you rather just die on the plane?
I mean, he ends up living in the end. So
Okay,
if
I'll
it goes
say
exactly like that, then I guess
I'll
what
say
he went
this.
through. Would I have
Would
trauma?
you rather
Yes.
die in a plane crash, live, and survive on an island, and like you don't know if you're ever getting off?
I don't know.
That's like I would rather live, because like
Yeah, but then you like he tries to commit suicide, which is sad.
yeah, that's really sad.
But like you like watching it, you're like, I understand. Like you like
Yeah,
you know, not that you should do that, but like that you would get to that point of like I'm done. Like
he's
I'm
just
just
like
done.
yeah,
Like
he's
this
like a
isn't
madman.
living. This isn't. There's no quality of life.
Yeah,
And like, you know, yeah, he kind of goes crazy. And who wouldn't?
no,
I
yeah.
would. If I was going from the life I'm living right now to that, like I would go absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Probably sooner than he did.
And it has a heartbreaking ending. Don't want to spoil that if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's really good. I really enjoyed it. We should watch it again next year.
I would love. Yeah, I would probably watch it before that.
That plane crash scene is great. It's like, ooh, this is scary.
Yeah, like I felt it in my stomach, like anxiety. I was like, oh my gosh, like that's every person that's afraid of flying is worst nightmare. Like,
yeah. If you're afraid of flying, don't watch that movie.
I have like a slight fear of flying, but I don't know why.
Yeah,
It never started like that. Yeah. What?
I didn't know if you were afraid of. I've already ruined it. I was gonna say I didn't know if you were afraid of flying because your arms get tired, and then I was just gonna stare at you.
Does my arms get tired?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Because I was implying that you were flying with like by flapping your arms
Like a bird?
like a bird.
Okay.
This is not making it into the
No.
final cut.
Again, 0 for 2.
I feel Nala on the outside of our door, just waiting to be let in.
She has her bones and her toys. I put all out there, and
she has a nice bed out there.
She just wants to be where we are.
All right, we're already at 37 minutes. You want to do? Oh, we only have a couple more movies to talk about, so we got time.
Ooh, another Tom Hanks movie called A League of Their Own.
Also starring
I was
Gina
about to say,
Davis,
what an interesting cast. Madonna.
Rosie O'Donnell, who plays Gina Davis' sister. I always forgot. Laura Petty. I never heard of her before, but she was in a bunch of movies in the 90s. I think that was her name.
Maybe.
Lori. I know it was Lori something.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but Biddy Schram? Scram?
Oh, yeah.
Schram. I think
Monk.
it's Schram. Biddy Schram. Yeah, from Monk. She plays Sharona in Monk.
Cusack. What was her first name? Janice Cusack? Joan Cusack's sister?
I don't know.
She has a line.
I don't
Better
know.
Call Saul?
I don't know all these people.
Chuck's wife.
Sampley knows all these people.
You knew Biddy Scram.
Scram. I don't know how to say it. Well, I grew up watching Monk, so she's Sharona.
Yeah.
She has such a different personality in the movie. Like this character, it's weird.
Yeah.
Because in Monk,
she's like
Sharona's like this.
She's kind of like me.
Like, yeah, okay. She's like this tough, like I'll tell you whatever, like super honest.
Yeah.
You know, just I don't know.
Monk is great. We should rewatch it.
Yeah, we should. But yeah, in this movie, she's a lot more passive. So it's just funny. It's funny.
I heard she has that annoying kid.
She has the annoying kid. It's just like, hey, Angel.
Did we even say the movie?
I said A League of Their Own.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
So yeah, Tom Hanks.
It's like almost 10 o'clock. I'm falling asleep. It's almost 11.
It's back in the
World War II.
World War II. So is that
so that
40s?
was like the 60s? No, I'm just joking.
I looked at you like, are you okay? So
yeah, late 30s to mid 40s, right?
Well, the U.S. was 1940 to 1944, I think, or 5.
You were actually wrong.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Am I right?
No, you're right.
If we think I'm right,
because we didn't join until much later.
Exactly. Yeah. I hope I'm right.
Yeah.
Because then I'm gonna look so dumb. Everyone's gonna laugh at me. Yeah. So it would have been like early 1940s. All the men were gone at war.
Yeah,
so
hanging out, playing video games.
Yeah, hanging out at war, fighting for our country, and they didn't have any baseball to watch, so they formed a women's baseball team. And basically Tom Hanks is the coach of the women's baseball team, and all the women that we just named were on the team.
Yeah.
Because it's basically like the cast. And then it centers around two sisters. One, the older sister, she has a husband that's off at war. The younger one is just wants to play baseball and, like, you know, have a life of her own outside of her family and
outside of her sister's
sister's shadow. It's one of those typical, like, you know, younger sister living in the older sister's shadow stories. But and, you know, it's like the older sister can't help it because she's just doing her thing, and she can't help but be very good at baseball. So because she gets recruited, her sister gets recruited too. The younger sister does. And so this kind of tells about them. And
yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was really sweet. And then, like, the ending was sweet too, where they're all, like, coming back and they're old and they're just, you know, reuniting.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cute movie. Yeah, like, it was just really cute. It was a fun watch. Yeah. It has one of the weirdest lines ever from John Lovitz. Who's the guy?
Oh, yeah.
You and I were like, what? that came out of left field.
There were a couple, like, random jokes like that where I was like,
yeah, there were a lot of dirty jokes. Like, Madonna's character was like a hoe, so everyone was always pointing out how she
Can
was
you
sleeping.
say that on here?
Hoe?
Yeah.
It's not that bad of a word.
That's not that bad, but I don't know. I don't know.
They say worse than the movie.
That's very true.
This is a G-rated podcast. I'll bleep it. This is going to sound like I said something way worse if I bleep it.
Madonna's character is definitely gets around. That's a nicer way to say it. And it's just funny. It's kind of it's funny, like, watching a movie, like, you know, one of those sports movies. It's like you're following each one of the teammates, and, like, there's a lot of different, like, storylines there for all the different girls. So it's cute. It's cute how they, like, center it around the two sisters, but
I liked it a lot.
It's ultimately about all of them. So
it's fun to watch. They had some really cool montages. It was funny. I really enjoyed it.
Tom Hanks's character, like, originally doesn't like coaching women because he feels, I don't know, he's like
degraded.
Yeah, he feels degraded, and then it's kind of redemptive for him because he's, you know, he's an alcoholic, or is he? Is that what he? Yeah, he's like, kind of destroyed his own career on his own, and he kind of comes back from that. So I think it's sweet. He does a good job.
Yeah, I think so too. Job. He was really funny. There's no crying in baseball. That's like one of those iconic lines.
Yeah.
That I knew of, but then you watch it and you're like, can I just do a nod? Next movie we watched was quite possibly the creepiest, weirdest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Wait, which one?
Is Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh my word!
Like, we thought this was gonna be some cute, like, rom-com.
I've heard about
and some of it was cute. A lot of it was creepy.
A lot more of it was.
Especially if you were to reverse the roles.
Oh,
it becomes it becomes a horror film.
Yeah. No, I
just put weird and creepy in my journal.
Weird and creepy. Yeah, that's all that needs to be said. I don't think I'd ever talked to anybody that had seen this movie. I know plenty of people have.
Yeah, it's popular.
It's popular. I've heard of it before.
Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan.
Yeah. So we're scrolling through movies, and we, like I said, we're on a Tom Hanks binge, and then we saw that he was in this movie, and we were like, let's watch this movie. I thought it was just going to be this, like, sweet romance movie, you know, just a fun watch. And the storyline was definitely very entertaining. I will say that.
Yes, it's an entertaining
It's very
movie.
entertaining.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's very weird.
The premise, the storyline, everything was very, very strange. Because, you want to say why?
So it opens up on the funeral of Tom Hanks' wife. He is now a widow. He has a son.
Yes.
A year passes by because they moved. I like you remember the name Jonah.
Jonah.
They moved to Seattle. He's living his life. His friends kind of want him to start the dating life again.
It's only been like, what, 6 months or something?
No, it was a year.
Still, a year?
Still was a lot.
Like, I would
I would wait at least, like... I'm just joking. I would never wait. I'd bring you back to life.
Or I was about to be like, tell me how long you'd wait.
Or I'd, Romeo and Juliet, the situation. If you go down, I go with you.
Oh, my word.
Or me and Nala would invent a time machine together. Like Peabody and Sherman. Oh, my word. You know what that is, right?
Yes, I know what Peabody... Yes.
I even have red hair, and she's black and white.
Yeah,
that's funny.
True. Okay,
we should do that for Halloween. I don't know who you will be, but...
No.
We'll go
no, we gotta be a family.
Oh yeah, the movie. So the son calls a radio station, and is like, "I want."
They moved to Seattle.
I already said that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, okay. I said you're Best Buy, and so his friends and family want him to move on and start dating because he's sad about his dead wife because apparently she was the bee's knees, and he also sees her throughout the movie in different visions and stuff.
Oh, and Rita Wilson plays Tom Hanks' sister.
Yeah, and they're already been married for 5 years. And also, I didn't know that he had cheated on his then wife.
Yeah.
He had an affair with Rita. It's sad.
Yeah. We learned more about Tom Hanks than we wanted to.
Yeah. No one's perfect.
No. But
anyways.
That's sad.
Anyways, so the son calls the radio station and is like, I want my daddy to have a new wife because I want a new mom. And then Tom Hanks goes on there and talks about how much he loves his dead wife. Wah. He's being a baby back.
It's sweet.
It's really sweet. He talks like he loves her. And Meg Ryan, who plays a psychopath in this movie, who's already engaged.
She's engaged to this
Bill
man.
Pullman's character, who seems like a really nice guy.
He was a nice guy.
Like the movie kind of makes him seem like lame because he has like allergies to a lot of stuff. But other than that, he seems like a great guy. Has a good job. Yeah.
Like what?
Anyways, good guy. Like meets her family. They love him.
They should have made him into a
So she listens to the radio at the car and like falls in love with Tom Hanks like over the radio, like to a weird level where she is like obsessed with him, like starts like writing him letters. She tells her friend is a bad friend and is like, you should do it. Like if someone told me that, I'd be like, you're weird. Like that's your like you should please don't do that. That's strange. You don't know this person.
Let me get you help. Yeah.
Like you need to focus on your fiance. Anyways. Don't want to spoil too much. I'm sure a lot of people have already seen it. And if you have seen it, go rewatch it because it's very strange.
We need to ask our parents if they've
like
seen
if
it.
the roles were reversed, if it was a man trying to like write letters and contact a woman that he had heard over the radio
and goes and
it would be a horror movie.
Flies on a plane to that city from New York to look for this person. And then they find this person and they watch this person. It's weird.
Oh yeah, she like watches him and his son.
It's
that's
so
weird.
creepy. Like she goes to his home.
Yeah, that's right. She like waits outside of it.
And it shows her on the computer like looking up all this stuff like before.
And the only reason it's not like truly creepy is because he sees her and falls in love with her. But then fast forward, she tells her fiance about it, how she's in love, and he's just like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. It's just like, what? So flash forward.
Definitely not a real reaction.
Yeah, not a real reaction. And then they get together at the end. They meet each other on top of the Manhattan building or something like that.
And the son is all for it. That's the thing.
The son is like, I want this lady.
I want you to meet this lady. And
it's a funny movie, and I know it's not. It's a movie. It's just like they play it off as if it's supposed to be like cutesy and romantic. It's just kind of like that's like really creepy. Like
yeah.
But I enjoyed watching it just because I was entertained.
I was gonna say, what year did it come out?
Oh, I usually write that stuff down.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I want to say 93. I might be wrong.
So that's why I want to ask our parents, like, okay, from the lens of like somebody that was around their age, like were there when the movie came out. What did you think of it at the time? You know, just to get a different perspective. Not that I don't know.
Oh, I was right. 1993. Yeah,
so that's the year both of our parents got married.
Yeah.
We should ask them if they went to. Do you think it was in theaters?
Huh?
Do you think it was in theaters?
Oh yeah, for sure.
We should ask them. We really should, and just get like a different, like see if they had a different perspective on the movie.
Yeah, I bet they. I don't know. Yeah, we should see. We should see when they last. Like, we should also say they should rewatch it too.
Yeah.
To see if they have positive opinions about it.
Anyways,
yeah, I'd watch it. It's a fun movie. I'd watch it again.
You'd watch it again?
Yeah, just to be like, maybe I'm overreacting, but I feel like I would just be like, no, I was right the first time.
Yeah.
Meg Ryan's character is very strange.
And I think like Meg Ryan too, like her character, because you're so like wondering the whole time about like why she's doing this and like what in the world's wrong with her. She's not made into this like super likable character the whole time.
Yeah.
To combat that.
Yeah.
It's like we don't know that much about this person other than that she doesn't like her fiance and they're like still together and she's stalking this guy. So it's like there's no other really backstory, and that's for like Tom Hanks and his son, like there's a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just what I thought of. It's like there's nothing. She doesn't have anything going for her.
It's also hard to believe when a child orders a ticket on the computer for himself and then like actually is able to get through that.
He like goes to New York by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a cute movie though. It was very odd.
Quite odd.
Next movie, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3. You did not go with me.
Yeah.
I went with my sister's husband.
Your brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law, and I very much enjoyed it. I recommend seeing it on the big screen before it leaves theaters. Why are you looking at my notes?
Well, you were acting like you were going to spoil it for me because you were
Oh, don't read it. I might have spoilers in there.
Okay.
If you don't want it spoiled, I don't think I do. Hold on. No, I don't. I will spoil it right now.
No.
Can you cover yours?
No.
You didn't go see the movie with me, so I'm going to spoil it with you.
No.
Iron Man dies.
Huh?
There's some person listening to this who didn't see, like, who will probably never watch them and is like, he died? Yeah, he died.
Yeah, he died.
The last Avengers movie. Which... No, we saw the Thor movie. I was about to say that might be the last movie. No, we saw Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah, we saw. Yeah, I was about to say.
What other Marvel movie did we see together? We didn't see Black Panther 2. We didn't see Ant-Man. We saw another one. I can't remember. Maybe it's just Spider-Man and Thor.
Maybe just yeah.
But no, me and my brother-in-law went. I recommend. I really enjoyed it. It was a really good movie. A lot of people were telling me it was sad, and it was sad. Very sad. I had some moments in there that I was like, this made me tear up a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. If you're an animal lover, you will tear up. The main bad guy does some stuff to some animals.
Really?
Yeah. That's the main bad guy. His name is the High Evolutionary, and he's like experiments on animals to try to perfect them. And it shows them. It shows stuff, and you're just like, it's like not cool. There's some kids sitting in front of us, like 7-8-year-olds. Like, there's some like grown-up stuff in this movie.
Really?
And at one point, a little girl was doing her, like, had her hand cover her face because at one point they show some. Yeah, it was rough stuff. I'd recommend that. I'd see it again in theaters if you want to go see it again.
Yeah, let's go see it again.
Okay. I'll do anything. Go to the movie theater.
Yeah,
give me some big popcorn, big soda.
When do you want to see it?
You want to go see it next week?
Wait, we can figure this out off the podcast. What are we doing?
No, they have to know when we're going. We have one big fan that's like, no, tell me when. I'll be there at that theater.
Oh my goodness.
Sleepless in Seattle, too. And then we're on our last movie now. Men in Black.
We already saw it. We already finished it.
No, I know. I meant like we're on our last movie to talk about.
Oh, okay. Well, you shut the book so dramatically. Like, okay, we're done with the podcast. And I thought you forgot that we finished it last night because we started it. And
yeah. You'd never seen it again.
Wow,
we watched a lot of movies you've never seen.
Yes.
When are you going to start showing me movies you've seen but I haven't seen?
I showed you the Black Stallion. That's probably all you're going to get.
That was like years ago. You still are hanging that one over my head.
It. No, that was a good movie.
Swiss Family Robinson.
You know what I need to show you?
And Bambi. We were talking about Bambi earlier.
You know what I need to show you is War Horse. Yeah,
Spielberg.
Yeah. Basically any animal movies that Sampley has not seen, I've probably
Erin's a
seen.
horse girl.
I was kind of a horse girl before I was a dog girl. But that was like until I was like 6. So.
You should. Well, I had seen Spirit before, but I hadn't seen it in a long time.
Also, National Velvet. That's a good movie.
National
with Elizabeth
Velvet.
Taylor.
Oh, we have that.
Yeah,
we
do have that.
And Mickey Rooney.
Mm-hmm.
He's in 2 horse movies that you like. That's funny. He's in Black Stallion. Black Stallion is a great movie.
Yeah,
that movie gave me goosebumps.
You really, yeah.
Because there's a moment, I don't want to spoil it for. I was like, man, if they do this movie's a masterpiece. But I was like, they're not going to do it. And then they did it. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
There's been several moments. Another movie I've had with that is Out of the Past, which we should watch. That was one of my grandma's favorite movies with Robert Mitchum, where I was like, they're not going to have the guts to do this. And then they didn't. I was like, oh my gosh, they did it. I love it when that happens, when I'm like, they're going to play it safe. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they didn't play it. Because a lot of movies do play it safe.
So you do analyze movies during this.
No, wait.
I caught you.
No. I mean, not analyze, but like, I just think, oh, well, I don't know, whatever. Anyways,
that reminds me.
I don't like actors who like haven't actually worked on anything that like you worked on like one set and they're like, I would have done it this way. It's like, well, you.
How would you know?
Shut up.
No, you just doing that with the microphone though, when you're like, no. That makes like. That was the one thing during all like the Tom Hanks movies that we saw. What are you doing?
I was just
during all the Tom Hanks movies that we saw. I just kept hearing Woody from Toy Story. Like you can tell that was obviously my first Tom Hanks movie ever in my life.
Because like
that was my childhood. Was
his
Toy
Woody
Story.
Voice is just his voice. So like
I know, but
those,
certain things that he would say, I was like, that's Woody. I don't know. We also. Oh wait, we forgot. Or did we talk about it? Saving Mr. Banks?
No, we talked about that in the last one.
Oh, we did? Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Yeah, I thought about that then too.
I thought you were about to talk about How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I was like, do we really want to talk about
that? That was funny.
I fell asleep to it last night.
That was funny.
Matthew McConaughey, one of the rare actors who like can completely turn his career. Not that it was like going anywhere. He could have kept doing rom-coms for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
But like turned his career around and like wow.
Yeah,
like
so
one of the
different.
best actors of his generation. Like wow.
What does Kate Hudson do?
She was in that Knives Out movie we watched.
Yeah.
She was in that really bad movie that Sia produced and directed.
Sia?
Yeah, the singer.
The singer?
I can't remember what it was called, but like
producer?
the only reason I knew of it is because of how like bad the reception was.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, the main Kate Hudson plays the mom. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was like people said it was an Oscar bait movie. Kate Hudson plays the mom of like a girl with autism, and they say that the acting is really bad of the autism girl, and it's like overblown and very stereotypical. I haven't seen it, so I can't judge it myself. I'm just saying what people have said about it.
Yeah. Huh.
So I know that didn't go well. And doesn't she like do stuff like outside? She has like her own enterprise, like a makeup line or something like that. I don't know. Or she does Fabletics.
Does she?
She's like the main like stockholder in Fabletics.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe not that, but like she
That
does. Her and Kevin Hart. Because ever since I've been on that website, I get Facebook, Instagram, emails.
Yeah, I have seen her associated with that company. I feel like she might have clothes.
Speaking of which,
something.
today's sponsor is Fabletics.
No, it is not. Not sponsored. Anyway, I was just curious because she was the other one in that movie. Yeah, that was an interesting.
Who should
movie.
I try to go after for a sponsor? I only want to sponsor things I like.
I don't know.
I would be a proud sponsor of Costco.
Yeah.
Kirkland.
Who would be a
Puma.
sponsor?
I wear a lot of Puma stuff.
You do wear a lot of Puma.
Or Target's close. Target. Goodwill. Or no, wait. Is that
What
what's
about Nike after reading Phil Knight and watching the movie Air?
Nike. No, they make children make their shoes. I couldn't consciously do that.
We did see that movie though in theaters.
Oh yeah, we did see
Air.
We never talked about that.
No, we didn't talk about that.
It was good.
I liked it.
It's on Amazon Prime
now.
go watch
for
it. Free. So
it's a good movie.
Really cool story. Besides the thing I just mentioned.
Yeah.
That's like any company now.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not that.
I don't know how all that works.
I don't know.
Honestly, I need to do more reading about that. This podcast has turned into something. I don't want to end on a sad note.
No, but no, the movie Air was good. We saw that in theaters.
Yeah, AIR. If people hear HEIR, that's
okay.
Air, right?
Air.
Is that how you spell an heir to the throne?
Yeah.
HEIR.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have thought people know like a movie about Nike.
Some people are idiots.
Okay. Okay.
And that's coming from the biggest idiot with love.
But yeah, Matt Damon's in that, and
Matt Damon.
Ben Affleck plays Phil Knight.
Jason Bateman's
Chris
Tucker,
in it.
Viola Davis.
Yep. Everyone's really good. But it was an enjoyable movie, and it was cool just watching, just like a true story about something like that and somebody taking a risk in a company.
Yeah, Matt Damon's character took a big risk. So, and now they are the company they are today, so. It's fascinating. I love stuff like that.
Yeah,
After reading that book, Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, it was cool. He does good stuff. He donated a lot of his money that he's earned from that company. Like a lot. Crazy amount to charity. He's also a big movie guy.
Yeah. It's cool.
It was cool to read about. He had a very interesting life. I recommend that book. I feel like, I know you're not much of a reader. I just feel like whenever I recommend books to people, it's just like I'm wasting air. Like no one's ever going to I'm going to go read that.
Do you feel that way about movies too?
No, because movies are more accessible. People will come back to me and be like, hey, I watched this. Mm-hmm. If it's if I'm saying, hey, you should go watch this like Korean movie I saw that's like from the 1940s, no one's going to go watch that, I know.
Yeah.
So I try to recommend movies that people are going to watch. For the most part, people do watch them, I feel like. Someone at work hadn't seen Breaking Bad. He goes, what show were you talking about the other day? I was like, Breaking Bad? He's like, yeah, I'd never heard of it before. I'm like, you never heard of it before?
Are you living under a rock?
Me and my manager were like, what?
There is nobody I've ever met, unless it's a child, that's not Breaking Bad.
A child.
I mean, even the most
This is a grown 40-something-year-old man, too.
Even homeschool
that didn't
girls.
even know what it was.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, that's crazy. What else has he not heard of? But I was about to say something and I forgot.
Did you remember the show that we'd stopped watching before the movies?
But I was gonna say, I feel like you're right. Like movies are more accessible. The thing that I don't get any luck with like when I recommend to people is like with them not watching them is TV shows. I feel like people don't take like my TV show recommendations. Because
there's two reasons why. One, because they're either watching The Office, like most people do, just rewatching it and rewatching. Like, I'm being serious.
I love The Office.
Or their version of The Office. For some people, it's
Friends,
Seinfeld,
Parks
and Rec, Grey's Anatomy, or another dramatic show, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, or they have a backlog and it's just like, oh man, I want to watch that. That sounds interesting, but that's going all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shows out there.
There's a lot of shows.
A lot. It's crazy. How we're in the golden era of television, or at least we're leaving it.
We need to start a new show then, because I love watching.
We're about
movies,
to finish Barry.
But yeah, we're about to finish Barry.
Which is really good.
Are we going to talk about that in a different podcast?
We should when we finish it, because then the last episode comes out next Sunday. Well, that should be our next episode. Because what is that?
Be. Hopefully my voice will be normal by then.
I hope it's not. I like it.
I feel so weird. I'm so deep and raspy.
I like it. I feel like I'm hanging out with Batman all day.
I still don't know why I lost my voice though.
It doesn't sound too bad right now.
Did I tell you
it's probably because of your night terrors.
I was just sitting there, and I at work earlier in the day, and I just choked like I was just choking. It was weird.
You just see someone across the hall like doing like a little Vader thing, and then they run away when you make eye contact with them.
But I was like, oh my word, that's so
That
weird. Like I wasn't
janitor that was
drinking
hitting on
anything.
you.
Like I wasn't drinking water. Like when I didn't choke on water, I just like choked on nothing. And then like my throat hurt after that. And then I just halfway through my class that evening, I couldn't speak anymore. And I was trying to speak. I was like forcing it out of me. So
Can we end on that story though?
yeah, you can. No,
you tell it.
It's just weird. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh no, I was saying, can we end on the janitor thing since I mentioned that?
Wait, when did you mention that?
I said when I said it was the choking thing, I said it was the janitor that hit on you and you ran away.
Oh.
That has happened to me before. I hate that too, especially when people are around you. You're just like, like you're trying to hold it in after you do it.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate sneezing a lot in front of people.
Yeah, I do too.
Because people are like, COVID?
Yeah. Do you have the Rona? Yeah.
Or just say the thing. Just say his pickup line. You don't have to go through the full story, but say his pickup line.
Yeah, I had to.
It's classic. You don't have to say what happened after.
You mean with HR?
Yeah. Well,
what's wrong with that?
I don't know.
I mean, that's what that people would feel better that I went to the HR about
that's
this.
True. Yeah.
No, there was like a temporary employee who was a janitor, and we had never spoken before, which was so weird. But I work at a lab. I think most people know that, but I mean that we know that listen to this, right?
Yeah. Don't say where though.
I'm not gonna say where. But like if I'm in the middle of something, it's really important, and I'm very focused on things, and most people where I work know that and have the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, and other people like in other departments of the building know that as well. So that like if they come up and have a question, they don't interrupt when I'm in the middle of like trying to like be really specific about taking volumes or doing stuff like that where I'm like in the middle. So So this guy comes up and he's changing the trash can next
our
to
age.
mine. He's about our age.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, should I tell about his music too?
No. Okay. Or actually, yeah, why not? You already said it.
Yeah. So he plays his music, or he played his music really loud on his phone, and he wouldn't wear earbuds or headphones like everyone else does, but he did not. And he was just like walking through, and at one point, one of my coworkers had said something to him like, hey, cool music or something like that, as if like calling him out like, that's really loud, but in a very nice way, maybe a little too nice, because then he went, oh, you like it? It's me. Then he started doing a little bit of like self promo and stuff, and it was kind of funny.
Do you think some guy's gonna pop out of nowhere at a science lab and be like, "Hey, kid, you're gonna be the next star"? Like, yeah, I've been waiting for you.
Here?
Like, yeah, you're in the wrong place.
So they're just like, okay. But anyways, so he's had some weird stuff like before that. But then he comes up, he's changing the trash can next to me, and I have my earbuds in. I'm very focused, and then I watch his hand come across my nasty lab bench, which is disgusting because like I wear gloves because there's bacteria and who knows what else on there.
Yeah.
And his bare hand goes up and touches the bench as if to get my attention. So I take out my earbuds, and I hear him go, "Are you half Chinese, half white?" And I fully take my earbud out by this point, and I go, "What?" And he went, "Are you half Chinese, half Caucasian?" Like he changed the white to Caucasian. I was like,
sorry.
I was like, why? Like I was so shocked because no one has ever in my life asked me if I'm Asian. Not that there's anything wrong with being Asian or looking Asian or being of any different ethnicity, but I don't look Asian.
No, you don't.
I just don't.
I was very surprised. I love that he like just was like, all right, I'm going to go talk to this girl. I need a pickup line.
And I'm going to say...
Hey, how are you? No, that's too casual.
We need to get into race.
hey, are you from here? No, that's too general too. I got it. Hey, are you half Chinese, half white? Oh, sorry. half Chinese, half Caucasian. I was like... That. There's a black guy.
Yeah. And I was just so taken aback by such a strange question. I've never had anybody ask me... I mean, first of all, it's rude. Like, I think it's rude to just go up and be like, hey, are you this? Like,
no, yeah, it is.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, that's like an unspoken thing, especially in the workplace. Especially in the workplace, because it's just like, whoa, you're just digging yourself into a hole.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't know me. So, like, that's the first thing you say to me in a conversation with me. Like, of course, something's going to happen. Like, there's going to be repercussions, because what if you went up to someone else in, down the hall, and maybe they didn't think it was funny like I did, and you really offended them, or like hit on like a really personal note or something like that. Like, you can't go around saying stuff like that.
No, absolutely.
So I felt like responsibility to protect other people, especially other young females, because then what he followed up with was like trying to give me his number and trying to like say other things, and all this stuff started happening. So so it was just definitely very weird, but it was just such a weird question. The only other ethnicity that I've been asked if I'm Hispanic, and that's mainly because of my new last name. But one look at Sampley, and
some people think I'm Hispanic.
Yeah.
Just because of the last name. And people go, oh, well, it is your last name, so you are Hispanic.
Yeah.
There's some in you. And I'm like, actually, false.
Actually false.
Long story short. Not going to tell that story on the podcast. Probably have before. But, nope.
Yeah. Or if it's like...
I wish I was. That way it would make more... There would be no story to tell.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always that long, like, I got to get into this. But, and now I have to tell that too, because that's not my last name. But,
we can always change it back. We can make that happen.
It's true.
Just teasing.
Don't get upset. Yeah. Funny times. I still don't know what prompted him to ask that. It just cracks me up.
That's just his go-to.
He was like,
"Hey, girl."
I just don't look Asian. I just shocks me.
Yeah.
It shocks me. People are very interesting.
I think you should have given him a shot.
What?
No, that's too funny. Like, when he told me that, like, if usually when you say like a guy, if like a guy were to hit on you or ask for your number, like, like any guy, it's like, ooh, like, I wish I could have been there. This one, I was like, that's like pretty funny.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to tell like my parents. I couldn't wait to tell my brothers, my friends.
And then I was like, on the mad side, where I was like, so unprofessional, like, very,
now you're like worried about me.
And even if he was harmless, like, he should know as a male, like I do, like, don't be creepy around women.
Yeah, and like for another context of the situation, it's not in the middle of the day where there's a ton of people around that he did this. It was like close to 6 o'clock in the evening, and I was alone in the lab.
I think you did the right thing.
And that's why I meant like I need
and also
to
he touched your bench, and it's just like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah,
clearly out of his element. Bless him. But hey, maybe he'll work on his game a little bit. Maybe we'll listen to this podcast. Next time he hits on one of his coworkers, it'll work out for him.
Yeah.
He'll lead with the Caucasian. That's what got him. If he had led with Caucasian versus white.
Yeah.
White is too offensive.
Yeah. I think that, he's probably like, oh man, that would have worked.
You half Chinese, half cracker. Well, yeah, this podcast has been all over the place, but I liked it. I think it was a good episode. What'd you think?
I thought so too.
An hour and
I didn't expect to talk about my work
minutes?
Story.
I know. I'm sorry. It was just too funny not to tell.
No, it is funny.
I hope that's all right. Well, anything else you want to add to the podcast? Before we sign off?
I don't think so. Trying to
Is
think
that your tummy?
No, that was no, that was my fingernail scraping the sheet.
Ew.
I was trying to think of something funny to say, and it's just too late at night, so I can't remember what it was.
Hey, you know what I could go for?
A Bay Breeze?
Anything but a Bay Breeze,
Anything but a Bay Breeze. I'm gonna go eat some ice cream.
I'm gonna go eat ice cream too.
Okay.
All right, bye. Good night. Love you.
Okay.